Good morning and welcome to the SDSU Northeast Research Farm virtual field tour. My name is David Karki, Extension Agronomy Field Specialist, working out at Watertown Extension Regional Center, which is about 15 miles south from here. And unlike the last one I talked about, I don't have much to show in my background, but you do see wheat stubble. That's actually spring wheat stubble planted this year and intentionally killed so that we can plant some cover crops on it and do a cover crop research. So this trial is a kind of extension of what we started a couple of years ago. The interest in cover crops is rising. Everybody wants to know more about it, and we know that we're kind of living in the northern climate. We already have the incorporation difficulties. And one of the questions that producer asked us is, after small grain and also after corn silage, we do have some window in the fall that we can grow cover crops and have good establishment. But the question was, what effects will those herbicides that people apply in season will have in the cover crops that follow those cash crops? And that's where the topic came about was, let's try some cover crop species and try different herbicides after small grain and after silage. That's for the normal season, but last year we had this abnormally wet season and we had significant amount of prevent plant across the state. And so this year we wanted to extend that interest and topic into more of are there any herbicides that we use for burn down, in the beginning of the season will have some effects on the full season cover crops that you wanted to grow, early summer. So that's what the topic was for this, and you can see. If you go from from north to south, my north to south, you see some cover crop species named as radish, turnip, and German millet, and those are 5-foot rows, goes that way all the way along the length of the field. And on the perpendicular, we have some of the common burn down herbicide, 15 of them. Going in a perpendicular way, and in a week or two we'll come back and look at if the herbicide will have some effects on the establishment of those cover crop species. So that's what we have in a nutshell. But right now we planted this about 10 days ago. There is some good growth in there, but it's not ready yet to evaluate for its early growth. So that's in a nutshell. That's what we're trying to achieve. Hopefully we'll get some data off of okay, this herbicide will have such and such effects and this particular species of cover crop. And another aspect of cover crops right now, is the soil health. That's why the rise of cover crops is coming along in the state, both among crops and livestock growers. And I'll have my colleague Anthony Bly highlight some of the benefit of cover crops having, in a farming system.
Sure. Good morning. Yeah, cover crops have become really popular in the last 5 to 10 years. With the rise of discussions about soil health. What cover crops do for our soil is they sequester nutrients that would just normally be there and could be leached out by rainfall, excessive rainfall. So they're sequestering those inorganic nutrients and storing them, if you will. Another thing they do is provide soil cover. They protect the soil cover from soil erosion, raindrop impacts, wind erosion as well. So we keeping the soil covered with the cover crops. They provide forages for livestock producers. They provide a living root for soil microbiology in the soil. A living root is needed for that great exchange to happen between the soil microbial populations and the living root. And so the more soil microbiology we have, the better we are at cycling nutrients, and the less we will rely on additions of inorganic nutrients to the soil. So the more we can get that soil functioning with our soil microbiology, and cover crops help us to do that. So just a few important facts why cover crops are important for soil health.